Hello, today we're going to look at feedback on the gold quadrant, in particular the two dimensions, finishing and evaluating, and taking on board what the three lines, the underlying line, natural behavior, the adapted line, how you're adapting your behavior at work, and the consistent line, how that all intersperses with what's going on in the gold quadrant. So remember, the gold quadrant is all about analysis. You can see some descriptors here. We're going to look today at the two dimensions, evaluating and finishing. Finishing, I know we've produced a video on this before, but finishing is about processing information and finishing to a high standard. It's about doing things absolutely right. Evaluating is evaluating data and making decisions. It's about doing the right things. So fundamentally very different. One's processing, getting things right. The other's looking at information and making decisions. So what do we see on the map? We see the underlying line here, just above the midpoint. The midpoint is where the dotted line is. So you can see the underlying line here, just around about 60 or so. So that's verging on a natural behavior. But the adapted line, you can see the adapted line is much lower for finishing. So this behavior that this person has naturally is not being used at work. You can see a big gap here between these two. Likewise, on evaluating, approaching a natural behavior towards 65, just slightly lower, so between 35 and 50. So again, some potential there. This person isn't using all of their natural behavior for evaluating. So PRISM doesn't tell you why that's happening. PRISM shows what is happening in terms of behavior, but you will only understand why that's happening by asking questions, having a good coaching conversation with your client, really understanding what's happening at work that's causing some of these gaps to exist. Quick snapshot, that's the gold quadrant. Obviously, coaching session will take a lot longer because you're exploring what's actually going on. But this is really giving you some valuable information about how this person is approaching their behaviors at work.